Okay, good evening, folks, and welcome. I hope you have all had a lovely day today and that you've all been nice and warm. It's been absolutely freezing down in the Cape today, but I hope that that is only the Cape and that the rest of you have had good weather. I'm going to switch my account over to my tablet, and I'm going to be sharing from my tablet. So let's just check and make sure that we're able to still hear and see what I'm doing when I do that. Okay, can you all see the picture of my cute son when he was a baby? Okay, Estelle's making baby faces, so I'm thinking that you can see it. Can you all still hear me? Okay, Estelle, you are on fire tonight. Wonderful, thank you. Okay, so tonight what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having a look at our Infin8 profile, or as Neil and Paul like to call it, the Infin8 profile. For some reason, that number 8 at the end seems to be repeated twice by some of us.
That's a mistake.
But it is still the Infin8 profile. And let's have a look at how we can go through all the different settings and get those settings right so that we're able to create an effective profile that looks good and that people are able to have their eyes and their attention caught and be impressed when they look at it. So you'll see at the moment on my screen that I don't have anything on it. So the first thing that I'm going to do, if you look down at the bottom here, can you see that little white dot? That is my cursor. I tried to get a bigger cursor, but the app for that was making my tablet lag a little badly. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to cope with that little white dot for today's presentation, and we might have to redo the presentation at a later stage when I can get a cool looking dinosaur or something as my little icon. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Google Chrome down in the bottom there, and I'm going to open up a new tab. And from that, the first thing that I'm going to do is right at the top here, I'm going to type in the URL so that I can get into my little black book. And the link for that is lbb little black book.mobi. And if I click the enter button, it will take me to the home screen of Little Black Book. Now what I can do is I can scroll through there and I can have a look at anything new that's been added to it. And if you go on to that tonight, you'll notice that there is some information on there, but over the coming weeks, Neil and myself are going to be updating that and loading more information on there so that when somebody requests information about the Little Black Book, you can just simply send them to lbb.mobi and all the information will be on this page. Links to videos, and all sorts of other information. The same thing for the Infin8.mobi site. Up at the top over here, what I want to do is I want to go and I want to log into that. And if you haven't logged in for the first time, you're going to have to log in with your email address and your password, which is created. Please remember to remember that password or save it to your device so that your device can save it. You can see mine has been saved and it takes you to this welcome screen. And I'm now going to just click on the continue button, which will then take me to my dashboard. In my dashboard over here, you can see I haven't got any reminders because I don't have too many contacts at the moment. And I keep saying I, but this is Nick's dashboard. We share a dashboard. But up at the top, you can see the user settings on the top left, that little icon. Just over to the right of that is the profile pic. Over to the right of that, in the middle of the screen, is the Infin8 Profile, and then the system settings, and then the password. So the first thing that I'm going to have a look at tonight is I'm going to have a look at the system settings. If I click on system settings, you'll see that it takes me to this little page. And over here in a slightly different color, you have the Google Color Picker. And the reason that's in a different color is because that is a shortcut link, which if you click on it, will take you to another page in your browser so that you can choose the color that you want your profile to be. And in order to choose your profile color, you can simply grab that circle in the middle, slide it along, and choose the color that you want your profile to be. For this presentation's purposes, I'm going to make mine a bright, I don't know what that is. That's like a pink kind of color, right? Slightly reddy, slightly pinky. But what I can do is, if you have a look at this white dot over here, I can move that around as well, and I can change the color of that red to the color that I really want. Ooh, and I quite like that color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it there, and just beneath that you can see it says hex hash . And if I click the little page down on the right here, or that little icon to the right that says copy, it will copy that hex code. And if I then go back into my little black book, I can then simply place that hex code in there for my color theme. And if I click update system settings, in the words of a very wise mentor of mine, Wampamalang, your color has now been changed. And you'll notice at the moment that I'm working in Google Chrome. So let's go one step further and let's make life easier for myself. In the top right corner here, I'm going to hit that little arrow, and I'm going to add this to my home screen because I want to use it as a web app instead of using it in my browser. And so if I click on add, it will then tell me that a shortcut has been created, and it should be on my desktop. Oh, there it is. Let me just move that over quickly. There we go. And now I have my shortcut that's been created. So if I click on that, every time I want to use my little black book, it'll take me straight into my dashboard. And now it's a progressive web app. And you'll see that my color for my dashboard and the menu down at the bottom has been changed to the color that I've just created in my system settings. Now, guys, choosing the right color is a very important thing because it's going to define you and your product and what people think when they have a look at this. So if you pick a color that is in line with the business that you are promoting and that you currently work with and that you make your money on, or one of your favorite colors. If your favorite color is a luminous orange, then go with that. But just remember, some people are going to have a look at that bright Luma orange and think to themselves, "Ah, what's going on here?" Not that we have anything against the color. Okay, let's have a look at my second icon up top there at the menu, profile pic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that, and you'll see in this area that this is where I can go and I can change my profile pic. Nick has gone and chosen his picture that he wants there. But if you haven't loaded your picture in there yet, or you haven't chosen your profile picture, that will have a chapter 8 little logo in there, very similar to the one that you see behind me on my screen and on Neil's screen at the moment. And it will stay that way until you upload and choose your picture. So if you click on choose file, that's going to go into your gallery, and you can then choose the profile picture that you want, and you just simply then click on update profile pic, and when you click on that, it will change your picture. Changing.
I have a question quickly, Carl. I have a question quickly. If the picture comes out distorted,
okay,
how can we fix that? Because that is one of the questions that I got, and I don't know how to answer that.
Great question. I see Tia actually asked the question as you were asking it as well. So you guys were probably reading each other's minds, which is kind of creepy. Stay out of each other's minds. But it's a great question. Let's have a look at how we can do that. I'm going to go out of my progressive web app, and I'm going to go into my gallery. And what I'm going to do, I don't actually know what pictures are in here, so this probably isn't very safe for me to just open. I don't use my tablet for too much. As you can see, I mainly use it for my drawing work. But this is the picture that Nick Phoenix has used for his profile picture. And if you click on edit and you go into photo editor, you are able to then edit it in photo editor, and you can resize it, and you can shrink it and make it a lot smaller. So on your progressive web app, let me just quickly go back there. You'll see that it says in this blue block underneath over here, can you see my little icon running across the page there? It says ideal photo sizes, maximum 450 kilobytes, 350 pixels by 350 pixels. So you want it to be a square picture. And if you use a picture that your phone usually takes, that's going to generally be a rectangular one. And so what you want to do is you want to crop it so that it's square. Alternatively, what you can also do is when you take the picture of yourself as a selfie, you can change your camera to a square one and use that. I don't know if this tablet of mine has a camera. It turns out it does. Let me just turn that around so that I can take a selfie of myself. And in its settings, what I can do is I can change the size of the picture in there. And instead of taking a rectangular one, I can go and take a square one. So these are the different sizes that they do. This tablet of mine is quite old. In fact, I think Noah used it when he was getting the animals onto the ark. And so it doesn't look like I can change this one to take square ones. But most phones that are newer than 6 years old are able to take square photos. Alternatively, if you can't take a square photo, you can always just crop it. So let me just go out of there and let me take another picture. So you can see it's all my drawing work. Let's just have a look at this picture as an example. You can clearly see it's a big rectangle. And if I click on edit it and I go to crop, I'm able to then change that to a square and then move it down to show where I want the picture to be. And once I've got that, I can then go and use that as my profile picture. If you go onto the internet, there are plenty of free sites as well that you can use to shrink the size of the picture. If you send it via a WhatsApp to someone, and ask them to send it back to you. That will also shrink it because WhatsApp use a program to automatically shrink anything that you send to make it a lot smaller than what it is. So instead of sending a 3 gigabyte size picture file, it sends it and shrinks it down to about 250 megs or so, which is the perfect size for your profile pic. Andrea, see, you got a hand up.
Yes. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. When I went into choose file, it did not take me to my gallery photographs. I couldn't correct my photograph. It took me to file.
Okay, so let's have a
In
look at
file,
that.
I can't do that.
So on my one, if I click on choose file, you'll see here that it doesn't give me the option to go into my gallery either. But what I need to do is I need to go and click on documents, and that will take me into my devices storage place. And then what I need to do is inside there, I need to go and select on images. So if I go into images down up at the top here where it clicks on downloads, I can go into images. If I scroll over here, if I click on images, it will take me to those images. And if I go to WhatsApp images, I can then choose which one. And this is the one that I just went and worked on. Oh, I see it's already uploaded it. So let me update that profile picture. I don't know if it will update it at the moment because I've been changing these pictures a couple times today, and I'm logged into a few devices at the moment. And I find when I'm logged into a few devices, it gives me a hard time. Andre, does that make sense? So if you click on choose a file, you're going to have to click on documents, and then you're going to have to find the directory where your photos are kept.
Okay, I'll give that a shot. Thanks.
Excellent. Okay, Neil, I hope you're keeping track of any questions in the chat area because I'm not following those.
That's right. Fine. Yes, I am. And so far you are spot on taking care of all of that. Excellent. Just one thing that I might just add or mention is not all devices are the same. So you might need to find something that's going to help you to square your images or to resize your images, you know, so you might just need to find something that's going to work for you. What you just showed here isn't something that might work on all the other devices.
Okay. So good advice for that is if you are struggling to resize your image, take a picture that you want, send it through to the group and say, hey guys, can someone please crop this for me and send it back to me? Because once we receive it in WhatsApp, WhatsApp shrinks it. We can then crop it for you and send it back. And then it's the perfect shape and size for you to upload and use. And I see Tia says, yes, anytime. Okay, right. So we've looked at two things so far tonight: changing our system colors and choosing those, and uploading a great profile picture. Now, one of the things about the profile picture is we spoke about the size, obviously, and we spoke about the shape. But one other thing that I want to talk about is taking a picture that looks professional. Personally, I am a little bit of a joker, and Paul has called me on that a few times as well. And the kids that I teach love it. And unfortunately, I'm cursed with very few serious bones in my body, and I mess around a lot. And most of my profile pictures would look something like this. And I don't think my parents have too many kids or pictures of me looking like a normal kid as a youngster. But what we want to do for the profile pictures is we want to look as professional as possible, because we're using this as a business card and a professional personal profile that we can share with people. Not that I need to be saying that, but I thought I would slot it in there. Let's have a look at our next thing. The next thing that I want to have a look at is the little icon in the middle at the top here that says Infin8 Profile. If you go and you click on Infin8 Profile, you'll see that there are a whole bunch of options over here. And this is where you're going to go and fill in all your information that you want to populate to promote yourself. Now you'll see I've gone and I've put in a little bit of information here for Nick so far. Up at the top, this is his, let me just put my cursor there. This is his username. Nick is the username. And if you look underneath that, when he wants to share his profile with anyone, the profile or the short link that he's going to send is lbb.mobi/Nick. Now remember, your name isn't Nick. So you're going to put your username in there. Look at what happens if I change his username to nice guy. That's what my auto text was telling me to do, and so I went and did that. Please match the format requested. So why is it asking me to match the format requested? Because it doesn't want us to leave any gaps in there. It wants us to leave one word, nice guy. And if I go and I update that, that will then change it successfully. So you'll see my system settings have been updated. And now if I send my link, it will be lbb.mobi/nice guy, which is pretty cool. I'm going to change that back to Nick quickly, just so that I don't offend him and he doesn't come give me a good smack in the night. And that's his profile name. Underneath that, you can see that we have the option here for the company name. Nick is one of the founding members of Chapter 8. And so we're going to write Chapter 8 in there. You can write whatever company name you work for in that place. If you are self-employed and if you're promoting your own little businesses, you can put all of that in there. If you work for Super Quick, put in Super Quick. If you work for, I can't think of any other names for some reason at the moment, but there are plenty of company names out there. Whatever the company is that you work for, you can put that in the company name there. Underneath that, you can see I've written there Big Boss. That is Nick's job title. He is the big boss. And directly underneath that, he can go and write a short description of what it is that he does. As the big boss, he likes to do all the heavy lifting and make all the big money. I make the money.
Can I butt in again quickly?
Yes, that would be great.
So this area is where we are promoting ourselves to make people interested in us. This is the area that we need to promote ourselves.
Kind of. It's basically a description of who you are and what it is that you do at the company. So if I'm an accountant, I would say in there, I am the CFO at Chapter 8, and I can go and list all kinds of responsibilities that I have. If I am a salesman for Peach Industries, I can state there that I am a sales executive for Peach Industries. I deal with all sorts of imports and exports internationally and also locally. And so you can go and you can fill in whatever description it is that you want there, describing who you are and what it is that you do for your company. Recently, we posted John's profile, and he indicated on there that he sells honey jewelry. And so in his description there, he could state his role in the company and what it is that he does with that. So that's open for you and open for your interpretation. Just remember, it is a professional profile of you, and so you want to go and indicate accordingly. As Aisha said, this is part of your portfolio. You can state what it is that you are in charge of and what falls into that portfolio. Right, underneath that, you'll notice that you have the option there to insert 2 different cell phone numbers. And because some people have 2 SIM cards in their phones, and so they have 2 numbers, or they have a work number and they have a private number, or they have a number for all their professional contacts and a number for all their friends. Or if you only have one, then you only have to put in one of those cell numbers. And I can't remember what number I had here for Nick. I think it was just 1 to 9 or 0 to 9. Underneath that, you can see that you have space there for your email address. So nick@chapter8.co.za, that is his email address. And so we've put that in. Whatever your email address is, if it's Nick@Peach International or Nick@Superquick or whatever it is, your name. If you have a private one that you want to put in there, you can put whichever email address you want in that spot. Then underneath that, you can see that we have links to our social media platforms. You can put the link for your Facebook, for LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. Now, if you have a look at this at the moment, you'll see that I haven't put anything in the Facebook or the LinkedIn one. And on the Instagram one, all I've done is put in the Instagram URL, and the same with the YouTube. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly update those settings and save that at the moment. And down in the bottom right corner, you can see the infinite symbol that's going black at the moment. If I click on that, that'll take me to my profile. And right down at the bottom of the screen, you can see that white strip. You'll see that there's a link there for my Instagram. And just to the right of that for my YouTube. And just to the right of that is my WhatsApp number. That WhatsApp connects to my phone number that is saved up at the top over here. And these 2 links at the bottom, if I click on one of those, that's just going to take me to YouTube. Or if I click on the Instagram one, that's just going to take me to Instagram. It's not going to take me to any specific Instagram user of any sort. It's just going to take me to the URL that I've typed in there, which is Instagram, and underneath that was YouTube. Let's have a look at how we go about putting in our username for that. What I've done is I've gone and I've created a profile for Nick on Facebook and on LinkedIn. So in Google Chrome, I've got Nick Phoenix over here. I haven't added too much to that. He's only got 1 friend at the moment. Our co-founder, Neil, is his only friend. But if I scroll through there, I'm sure I can find him some more friends. But how do I go about linking my profile to Nick? Up on the top right here, you can see the little menu lines. If I click on that menu, it will bring me to a menu for Nick. And if I click on Nick Phoenix, it will take me to Nick's profile. And if I scroll down here, it will give me the option to link it to his account. So let's just do that quickly. You'll see where it says edit profile. It's got the 3 dots to the right of that. That gives me a drop down menu. And if I click on copy link to profile, that will give me the link that will connect to Nick's profile. And if I click on OK, and I then go back to Nick's Infin8 profile, I can then go and I can paste that over there. And now when I go and I update those settings, if I click on his Infin8 profile, you'll see down at the bottom over here that he then has a link to his Facebook page. And if anybody clicks on that link, that will automatically open to Nick's Facebook profile. So all you have to do for Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, any social media platform, if you go into your account's URL, you will be able to save those shortcuts there, and they will appear on your profile at the bottom. And I
have another question, sorry.
Yes, Sue.
Can you link 2 Facebook profiles? In other words, can I link my profile plus a profile of an ice skating group that I want to feature on my card?
Definitely, you can most definitely do that. If you have a look underneath the ones that we're looking at the moment, you can see over here
the 4 ones. Okay,
those 4. You can type in there. If we had, I've got chapter 8 here. You said ice skating.
it's called
SKATING. I can then go and I can enter the URL here, and then that will show as a link on my profile. And when a person clicks on that, it will go to that URL. So let's have a look at that. Oh wait, I needed to put in information there. Sorry,
URL.
I think I jumped out before I did that. Okay, so let's go HTTP. I'm just going to click on that. This is going to take you to chapter 8. But you would go and obviously place your ice skating one, and you'll see on the profile that it then comes up here as ice skating. Or you can type in there and say, check out my ice skating club. Or you can say, have a look at our ice skates, or whatever you want to call it.
Cool, thank you.
Skating with Frozen, or Elsa and Anna, whatever you want to call it, you can change that name there. Estelle says you can only get your Instagram link from a computer, not from a cell phone. That's very good to know. Thank you, Estelle. I did not realize that. Okay, so let's go back to finishing off that profile. Sue asked a good question there. You'll see underneath over here that Nick has shortcuts to a few different links. And guys, you can have links here to anything. Niels informed me of someone, I think it was Paul actually, who has a link on there where if you click on it, it takes you to his diary so that you can book an appointment to see him, which is pretty awesome. You can have links here to anything. One of the car salesmen that we went and spoke to as we were demoing this with him, said, you know, I have this car, I've just uploaded a video to YouTube. Could I create a shortcut over here for that? And we said, yes, why don't you give us the URL for it and we'll show you. And so then on here, the profile, because we had changed the name to have a look at this car, whatever it was, I can't remember what it was, Neil. I seem to remember it was a VW dealership or something.
That was a Mazda.
Mazda, that was it. And so when you clicked on the link over here, it was one of these 4 links over here that took you to the YouTube video demoing that specific car. And you can change those at any point to take you wherever you want. You just need to change the name of it, change the URL, and it will redirect you to wherever you want it to go. And that is your Infin8 profile. So guys, your Infin8 profile is very important, and it's one of the most important things to get set up right at the beginning. To go about doing that, I recommend going and choosing your color scheme first. Where do we do that? We do that in system settings up at the top here. You go into Google Color Picker, choose the color that you want. Once you've got the color of your theme, then go over to Profile Pick, upload a great profile pic. If you can't get your profile pic shaped right and it's just not working, send your picture through to our WhatsApp group. Ask someone, or you don't even have to ask someone specifically. You can just state, guys, please can someone crop this for me and send it back so that I can upload it to my profile pic. WhatsApp then shrinks it for you automatically. So whoever crops it and sends it back to you will have made it a square. You can then upload it and your profile pic is then set. Then you can go onto your Infin8 profile in the middle and you can update and you can change everything there. And remember, this Infin8 profile stays with the person for the rest of their life. Is that person going to stay at the same company for the rest of their life? Probably not. I've taught at 3 different schools in my lifetime so far, and I'm probably going to be teaching at another 1 or 2 or 3 over the next 60 years. Let's hope I don't teach for the next 60 years. But as I change jobs, as I change careers, as I do different things, I can always go into my Infin8 profile and I can update those changes. And those changes will happen instantly. And when I take my card and I tap it on someone's phone, it will automatically direct them to my Infin8 profile that has been updated. Right.
So, Cole, just quickly.
Yes, Neil.
If you don't mind me just taking care of a question. Yeah, I see Engler's asked a question. Can Paul show us how to set up the calendar booking one, as I have people who will join if they have that option? So as far as I know, what that is, it is actually to book a Zoom appointment with him. And what that does is it's actually a suite that he has bought. So it's part of a package of a whole bunch of stuff that he has bought, and that is one of the stuff that he just links to from his little black book Infin8 profile. So that's how he uses it and how he is able to make use of that. But it is because of another package that he owns, that he bought, that he was able to do that.
Okay.
But I do know that Paul will share his information with pleasure. He's not on the group tonight, but he will share it if we ask him.
Yes.
No, he will share it. He absolutely will share it, and he will show you how to do it. But you have to buy that package to make use of those facilities as well, or make use of those functionalities.
Okay. Right, guys, I have taken a lot of your time tonight, but I think we have gotten through quite a bit of really cool information. I'm going to end the recording there because I don't see any more questions. Oh, there's the recording button.